This time on the show, Homebrew multi-touch tables with the guys from Three Mates. This episode of Hak5 is brought to you by Mass Effect 2. Assemble your team, fight for the lost. Go to Assist Express and domain.com. Got a great idea? It all starts with a great domain.
Hello, welcome to Hak5. My name is Darren Kitchen.
And I'm Shannon Morse.
And this is, of course, your weekly dose of Technolist. And here we are, back in the studio.
Back in the studio?
For once!
What are we doing in here?
I don't know, we haven't been here for like 6 weeks.
I know.
And we're not going to
I feel like we were at CES for like 5 weeks.
CES will do that to you.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, it felt so tiring, but it's good to be back home.
Yes, right before we ship out again, because we're going to be at ShmooCon, so if you guys are up in DC.
When is that? That's like 2 weeks.
That is February 5th through the 7th, so I'm not sure how that falls as far as the
2
episode
weeks.
numbers.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so
Can you
excited.
believe there's only 2 more episodes of this season?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, what episode are we on? I lost count.
624.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that means 625, 626, and then we start season 7.
Yay!
Season 7 is going to be very exciting. I've been tooling up for this thing for quite a while. It's going to be adventures.
Plenty of awesome stuff coming up.
Yes.
I'm super excited.
Okay, so we're not going to be in the studio for very long though, because that's just what we've been doing lately. We took the mobile rig over to a nondescript location here in Williamsburg to go check out some multi-touch goodness.
Yee!
So let's go check out what our friends over at Three Mates have built. Guys, you know as well as I do that the future is here. And it's a big ass table. Yes, that's right. We are talking about multi-touch. We are at a nondescript location here, a little wood shop right outside of a CIA training facility in Williamsburg, Virginia. And I have the pleasure of being with Brady Simpson from Three Mates. That's how it goes. You had to work leet speak.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get people on a set pronunciation.
Well, I mean, I just like how it's totally leet speak.
Yeah.
The company name. Yeah. So we're talking multi-touch. This is all the rage. I mean, you can do it on. You know, you're probably already doing it on your iPhone. your
grocery
Android
store,
phone.
going to the grocery store, doing it like that. So yeah,
Probably seen it on TV too.
Yes, on TV as well.
All the weather people now with the, it's great. I love it. So what is multi-touch?
Well, multi-touch is a interaction between a user and a set of components, and it's a way of doing things. You know, you hear about the GUI, and now I think the transformation is going towards the NUI, the natural user interface. So multi-touch is basically a set of hardware components that recognize, multiple touch points on a screen or a surface and turn it into software.
And we've done touch screens before in Hak5. We recently did just a capacitive touch screen on a 19-inch panel, and it's pretty cool. We use it actually for our production, but it's not multi-touch by any stretch of the imagination. I can't, touch 2 points and have the mouse recognize it in emulation. How does multi-touch? What are the different kinds of multi-touch as far as the surfaces are concerned?
Okay, well, there's a few different kinds of methods for multi-touch. For something like the iPhone, there's going to be different layers that they use, different substrates, and in between these layers, there's going to be sort of like a grid, and in each grid, there's going to be sensors, and these track the pressure from your fingers and track the points and send it into a software program.
And that's how I can have that on my little pocket device like my iPhone.
Yeah, basically it's a grid of sensors and in between substrates and layers.
Now, have you seen that scale up? Because now we're talking about like huge displays, a couple of feet even for these informational stuff. Like, does that scale? Have you seen that technology used for the really big ones?
I haven't seen that used on something like a multi-touch table, It's more, the methods used for a huge interactive table are going to be more similar to this. In CNN, they use a projection style method. And right here, we have a frustrated total internal reflection method. And it uses a few components, and it's pretty different. It's almost like night and day between the iPhone and an interactive table like this.
Okay, well, let's get down into what these different components are, because there's a lot to it. So this table right here has, a display. It's got optics. It's got light. It's got a varying array of
It's got
different
several
ways
components.
to capture when you put your fingers on that and move it around. So when you look down at that, you've got your display of whatever your application is. You can touch it and interact with the environment just how it would naturally feel to just kind of like on your iPhone, but bigger. Now let's go ahead and just talk about the ways that we can capture. Okay, so this one right here, or I'm sorry, not even, let's talk about the display first. So this is based on an LCD.
LCD screen, yes. This is based on an LCD screen, like basically your standard LCD TV. You can use a LCD monitor, is what we've got going.
And don't we have one of those right here?
Yeah, we do.
It's
over there, if we can just bring that here. And basically what you want to do is take apart the LCD, take apart the TV. We're going to use all of the components, or nearly all of them. Thank you.
Thanks, Aaron. So you guys have been doing this for a while. This is one of the panels you've taken apart. This is a 32?
This is a 32-inch LCD panel. This is just a thin liquid crystal display that the pixel, it's going to be pixelated, and this is the display that's actually inside your TV.
Okay, and it's kind of crazy because you put this up to light, you can't see through this.
You can't see through it.
As soon as it turns on,
it's completely visible.
That's
it's
kind of
completely
how the shutter
transparent.
glasses work,
Yeah, exactly.
That's so crazy. So when this powers up, we can see right through it. That's very much how this is working.
Exactly. When we turn this on, you can see straight through it on this one. And
okay, so what about there's also, I've seen projection used. What
I mean, we've got there's a few different methods. There's FTIR, which is what we use, and then there's also a rear diffused illumination method, and that's where you're shooting the light up into the acrylic instead of shooting it from the side. And that uses, you can use a projection with that too.
Now, what's FTIR? What does that mean?
FTIR means frustrated total internal reflection. And basically, that's kind of just a big way of saying infrared light is scattered through the acrylic panel in this case.
Okay.
And basically, you have the lights surrounding the acrylic panel, and the scattered light is going to be through the acrylic. And when you press your finger on there, that's the point of contact.
So rather than being different substrates with like an array
of a grid,
there's just your finger pressing down on the acrylic, which scatters different lights.
There's the invisible, you can't see the light, it's not visible to the human eye, but when you press your finger down, the point of contact, it scatters the infrared, and that's when the camera picks it up.
Okay, so that's the other part of it though, is capture. So,
exactly.
So rather than like a capacitive or a resistive touch panel, where there's no like optics involved, you guys are actually using a camera.
Yes.
Is that the reason why it's a table?
That's mainly the reason why it's a table, because we need that space in between the camera and the acrylic.
Okay, so this guy is a 19-inch.
This is a 19-inch.
About 2.5 feet tall or something?
Yeah, about 2.5 feet tall. And again, that's for the space between the camera and the acrylic. And we've got infrared lights all around the top of the acrylic, and we've got it housed in a sturdy frame and everything.
So all right, cool. Well, before we get into the hardware,
okay.
I think so we've touched on the different methods of detection. You're saying that you guys use the FTIR.
We use FTIR, and
what
then
is LLP?
LLP is a laser light plane. That's a different method. It's a little different because instead of using infrared lights, it's using lasers, and it's kind of the same concept. You press your finger down, and it's going to scatter the light, and that's how the optics are going to pick up, and it's going to run to the tracking program.
Okay. Now, now we're talking about lighting here. We're not even talking about like the visible spectrum. We're talking about something that's going to be picked up on the camera here that's not interfering with the display.
Yes.
Now, once we've taken this panel out,
yes,
there's nothing lighting this.
No.
I noticed you actually have one here.
This is a backlight.
Okay.
When you take apart the LCD, there's going to be a backlight that comes with it. And this is going to be housed inside of the Multitouch to provide, ample light so that when you turn on the LCD, you can get that effect, that same effect.
So you're not seeing right through it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so this right here is from a 32-inch what?
32,
display,
LCD TV.
And what are these little guys?
These
here?
are the bulbs. These are the cathode lights on the backlight.
And nowadays, a lot of the higher-end TVs are going LED.
Yeah, LED. You see a lot of that nowadays.
What are the other types of lighting that you're seeing in like computer monitors, or how do you assist the lighting because once you take it out, You've got
a
2
huge
feet.
space,
Right.
and you're going to need some extra light to support that and substitute for that difference in space. So you're going to want some added lighting in there. You can use cold cathodes. You can pretty much almost use anything in there.
Did you use like a tungsten bulb?
Yeah, you can use a tungsten bulb. And most of the time you want to stick with the fluorescent lighting though, because it has that kind of blue hue, and that's what's going to look best on the LCD.
Awesome. All right, well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, we're going to take a tour of the X19 unit. This thing is absolutely gorgeous. These guys at 3mate do an excellent job of putting together some turnkey multi-touches and some kits and all sorts of other fun stuff. So stay tuned. We'll be back in just a bit.
If you're looking for an easy and affordable way to get your website online, check out Domain.com's hosting plans. Their deluxe hosting plan offers unlimited traffic and free website builders with unlimited pages for just $8.75 a month. Already have a domain somewhere else? Support Hak5 and are sponsored by transferring your domain to Domain.com. It's only $6.99 a year to transfer your domain, plus you get an entire extra year. With Domain.com, you get registration without the BS. No totally unrelated upsells, no deceptive renewal pricing. Just blistering fast DNS and hosting, the lowest prices on the web, and the highest quality. Thanks to Hak5 fans, Domain.com is one of the fastest growing domain and hosting companies in the world. Don't forget to use coupon code HAK5 at checkout to get 15% off your order. Got a great idea? It all starts with a great domain. Domain.com.
Aaron, I feel like there's something between us.
I don't know. Maybe it's some kind of cool device.
Yeah, so this is the X19. This is the actual hardware you've gone ahead and built based on, what is this, 19-inch panel?
Right. This is a 19-inch Acer widescreen monitor that we have taken apart and turned into a multi-touch.
Great. So you guys have been doing this for a while now. This is probably like what your 10th build or something.
It's close to that. It's been a learning experience. There's been a couple wrecked multi-touches, but we've got our process down to a science.
Well, it looks great. It looks like it just came off an assembly line. I was hoping that maybe we could crack it open, take a look at what's inside, and kind of get a tour of the whole unit and how you went about constructing this.
Okay, well that's actually really easy with this unit. We designed this so that we could take off one of the panels if we need to make any adjustments or show it off. We made it so this is actually magnetically on here. So as you can see, it easily comes off. We also have screws at the top which allow it to come in there even more solid. We have taken those off so that we can show this easier, but we've got 4 magnets on here that keep this sheet on there nice and tight.
That's very inventive. I like that. It's kind of like your computer's side panel. So rather than have to take the whole case off,
right,
you get right in there. And so the first thing I noticed right off the bat, we got a shelf here, and power and everything, so we could put the computer inside of there.
Right. This the way we designed this was we didn't technically need this space, but we wanted the users and whoever purchases these multi-touch to be able to put their computer in here. So this would be an all-in-one unit. So we added a little bit of depth. You could even fit a desktop computer in here if you wanted to. And that's why there's that extra space.
Mm-hmm. And that also brings us up to a good level. Of course, not right now on this table, but when it is on the floor, this is going to be make a great coffee table at the Hack House, and I can't wait to start playing with that. So tell me about some of the other components and some of the build. What goes into actually constructing this?
Okay. Well, if I take you down the line, you have your acrylic panel, then you have your LCD screen, then you have all the components for your LCD screen. You have your extra lighting, you have your backlighting that comes with the LCD, you have your camera, and then you have all the other wires and components that you're going to need. And that basically is the rundown of how the multi-touch is built. Now
this panel here, you've sandwiched it in together. It looks really great with this brushed aluminum. You got some pieces there. I was hoping maybe you could show me how that comes together.
Now here's a little example. I haven't brushed this aluminum, but we put a nice brush on here. And here is a sample of the acrylic. We use a thick, very durable acrylic, and basically what we do is we cut this aluminum to the length that we need, and then we sandwich it in here. Now there's a little trick to it, getting the lights in there, but you can kind of see that this is how it's done, and this gives us a very snug fit.
Okay, cool. And now you have another one put together with the LEDs. You want to grab that so we can take a look? I thought that was really, really cool.
right here, you can kind of see this is a little bit of a testing unit. But basically, you can kind of see how we were just testing to see these infrared lights on this acrylic. And basically
Let's
what
hold
you...
it up so people can see this. So
There you go.
So what are these?
Right here is the infrared lights. And that is what goes in between this bar and this acrylic.
So this is all just kind of sandwiches together.
Right. This was a testing panel, so it isn't the correct thickness, but
Right.
this, you can kind of see, will go in like that and hold the infrared lights in there.
And there's no other like there's no other like substrate or something like that that we need to sandwich together to get that reflection off those LEDs. So it feels really solid. What is this? Is this like quarter inch or?
This is we don't get too much into the details, but basically this is the kind of acrylic you could sit on and it's not going to go anywhere. We really want to take it out to the we really want to take it out to the testing range and see
Fire
if
a
it's
couple nines
bulletproof.
at it and
Yeah.
see. Yeah, I don't. We'll take the panel out first.
So this, we don't want to do it on this version, but there's one that we would like to see if we can have people standing on there, maybe dancing.
Nice. I can see a little multi-touch dance floor action. There you go.
Right, actually that's one of our concepts that we're thinking about.
Ooh, exciting. All right, so that is the panel, the LEDs, the plexiglass or acrylic all put in there. I like the nice little bezel we got
Thank you.
here going on. And then, so what about the actual box? This, you've got a wooden one over here, one of your prototypes. What about this one for the X19?
This one we used metal columns in all four corners. We've got 2 pieces of very sturdy wood at the top and the bottom, and this is what makes the unit so light. And then we have metal sheets that go in between here, and then some stuff to help bounce off the light appropriately. But basically we have something that's made out of mostly metal, a little bit of wood, and it's very durable. It's lightweight, I would say around 15 pounds. So basically you got the wood on the top, wood on the bottom, and then we have this shelf which holds some of the other parts.
Okay, so tell me about the lighting that's going on in here. Now this piece right here is the actual backlight that came
Correct.
from the 19-inch, but it's not enough when we've got a 2-foot throw. So what are we supplanting here?
So basically, when you take apart this LCD screen, just like Brady explained, you have the LCD panel, and then you have the backlighting. And one of the interesting features is the backlighting on a smaller LCD screen is a little bit different than the backlighting on a bigger LCD screen. And this one isn't as bright on the smaller ones.
Well,
So,
what's actually in here?
I'm not 100% sure. I think it's some form of LED.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. So what we have is, since this lighting is not bright enough, we add some of our own lights, and they add a lot of more. They make it a lot easier to see, especially in the daytime.
What are some of the trickier parts? You were telling me something about this cable here that was a real pain in construction
Right.
with some of the earlier builds. Little lesson learned on there. You want to share that with us?
Oh yes, this is in an LCD screen. If you take one apart, you have what's called the FCC issue, which is the cable that goes from the LCD screen to the board, to all the circuitry. And this cable is very sensitive, and you actually have to be really careful that you don't have anything happen to it, because then you won't get an appropriate signal. But also, if you buy your own LCD screen, you have to make sure this cable is long enough, or you're not going to be able to separate the parts. And that, again, is the FCC issue.
Okay, so you've done this with a bunch of different
Correct.
LCD panels. Is there one manufacturer that you like over others?
So far, the panels that we've used have all been pretty much similar. The LCD screens that are made with more plastic than metal are actually a little bit easier.
Oh, really?
It's just easier to take apart. With the Acer monitors, they're good for taking apart because they're cheap. So if you're not on a budget, you could go more expensive, but this monitor has been just fine for us.
Awesome. Thank you so much for giving me a tour. Now, in just a bit, we're going to go ahead and get into the software, the demos, all the fun nitty-gritties of this. But first, I want to thank those fabulous, fun people that fund these fun projects. I'm going to say that sometimes fast.
I couldn't say it at all.
Judy, I'd love to drive the 3 hours to Annapolis, but I think we can fix your kitten screensaver from here. I just need you to open port 5900 on your firewall. Firewall.
that little boxy thing the internet goes through? Look at me, just a year ago, what a noob, trying to do tech support the hard way. Little did I know, GoToAssist Express is the easiest way to control another person's computer online. Provide instant support to your friends, family members, and clients and amaze them by getting it all done over the internet. You lower your support costs, you lower your travel time, and you can even provide support remotely even when your client isn't physically at their computer. Brought to you by Citrix, all GoToAssist Express sessions are encrypted 128-bit end-to-end, and you get 24/7 support. So try GoToAssist Express free for 30 days when you go to gotoassist.com/hack5. Don't be a noob like me. So Brady, we've got the X19 down here, we've got it hooked up to the laptop, put the camera on here so viewers at home can actually see what's on the display. Let's go ahead and get it running. What's the software that's involved in making all of this magic happen?
Okay, well right now we're running an open source software, and that's really nice for us because it's free and it also works really well.
We're big proponents of open source on this show.
Exactly.
Okay, so what is the first component? Once we've got the webcam interface with our operating system, whether that's like Windows XP or Ubuntu
Linux
or whatever, sure. What do we have to do to get the image that the webcam's seeing working with all the applications?
Okay, well once you have everything in terms of that, you need a driver for your webcam. And once you have all that situated, you're going to want to download the open source software, obviously. And once you start running it, you're going to want to calibrate it before you get to the applications.
So what kind of open source software are we using here?
Okay, well right now we're running CCV 1.2. And there's a CCV 1.3, which enables another webcam to be stitched and opens up the possibility for as big of a multi-touch as you could pretty much think of.
So we could have multiple webcams for what? For better calibration?
Better
Accuracy?
tracking, accuracy, and it basically opens up the length that you can go to.
Yeah, so we could actually have like a table that, I saw one at the Kodak booth at CES just recently that was like 20 feet long, 4 feet wide, absolutely ridiculous.
Exactly. They're going to be using multiple cameras.
Sweet.
And
Okay,
you also have TouchLib.
Oh, okay, TouchLib.
I was going to say we have TouchLib, which is a little bit older, and it also comes with a few good applications too. I like it as well.
Yeah, reference season 4. We did that when we talked about the Multitouch Mini, which is kind of like this, but so far off base. It's like the cardboard box and paper version, no LCD included. So this is really cool. I can see here in the software in the CCV, you can see in this image, we're actually seeing, like, you can see my hands through here, kind of like in a very Ghost Hunters kind of way. And it's crazy because you can, like on my end, I can't see through this LCD. I can't see the camera inside there. I can't see the other components inside the X19, but it can see my hands. Awesome.
Exactly.
So what do we have to do to get this all calibrated?
So what we've got going here is a few different filters on, and each multi-touch is going to have a different settings. You're going to want to have different settings. So right now we have the smooth and the high pass on.
Okay.
So according to light, amount of light, stuff like that, you're going to want to change the settings accordingly.
So as soon as we take this back to the hack house, I'm going to want to recalibrate it depending on the room, the environment, all that.
Exactly. Recalibrate and adjust the settings to your environment.
So how do we go about that in the CCV?
Okay, so right now what we're going to want to do is press C to enter out the calibration.
Okay.
And then we're going to press C again to start the calibration.
I'll go ahead and, ooh, all right, there we go. So I just hold my finger until the red
lights
turns
up.
blue? Exactly.
Exactly.
This is easy. I could do this all day. So this is very similar to like if you had a Pocket PC or a Palm
Exactly.
Pilot. Gonna go all old school and say a handspring visor. You guys remember those? So.
And then we're going to want to go back to the CCV mainframe.
Okay.
And this is where you want to choose to either send it to TUI for Flash or to OSC.
Oh, well, send what? So I'm seeing, like, I got the image here. Okay. So when I put my finger down, I can see
You can see the track blobs.
Uh-huh.
And
I see multiple ones.
Yeah, and the TUI is the protocol which is going to send, it's basically going to communicate with your application and the tracking program.
Okay.
So that's the bridge that's
So
in
that's
between.
the protocol that it's speaking.
Exactly.
Gotcha. And then, okay, so I've got all 5 fingers. I got 10 on here. How many can we
I've
track?
got 5.
All right.
Now I've got 20.
Here. Excellent. So we've got 30 different points now, and it's tracking them all in real time. That is crazy.
Exactly. This is a
Excellent.
solid and sturdy program.
All right, sweet. So we've got this running where we just minimize this and
Yeah,
run
we're
over
just
to our
going to
apps.
minimize this, and then you're going to want to bring up your applications.
So these are demo apps. Where do we get these?
Well, basically, most of these applications are going to actually come on the open source software such as CCV or TouchLib. And there's also an array of software online at NUI Group that you can just download.
Okay.
And we're going to be using Flash applications.
So in that case, we do want, like, what would you say spec-wise on a machine? What would we need to actually, run this
I mean, it's
decently?
pretty much your standard entertainment PC, Intel Core 2 Duo, maybe 2 gigabytes of RAM at least.
Okay, so your average PC from the last 2 years.
Exactly. And the nice thing about this is that you can even use these in a browser such as Internet Explorer, and you don't have to have an expensive, Macromedia Flash player or whatever.
There we go. Sweet. And I could probably do that in Chrome or Firefox on Linux, full screen it.
Exactly.
Gorgeous.
And that's what we're doing right now.
So what is this demo here?
So this is a photo app, and I've gone in and added my own pictures, which everyone can do.
Like this picture here of your doogie?
Exactly.
All right. So we're gonna, and this is intuitive. This is just, I didn't even have to ask you how to use this. Whoops, sorry, I was stealing your photo here. Oh, there's your cat. Lighthouse, somebody went down to Outer Banks.
Oops.
That's very cool. So it's exactly as you would expect it to work.
Yeah, and you can resize the whole frame and zoom in. Okay, and then we've got some other apps. These are ones that we've actually just downloaded.
All right, so what does this program do?
Okay, well this program is called ArtGen, and it's basically just another fun app that you could use in a bar or a club, and people would just go crazy.
Awesome. So let's try it out. Oh, that's it? You just start touching?
That's it. This is just
cool.
another cool visual app.
All right. We can like make it all funky if we want.
Yeah, and if you leave your finger there, the shapes are going to follow and go to your exact position.
Mm-hmm. And so can we customize this any or what?
Exactly. You can, on the side, you see the swarm settings. You can customize the shapes and,
How do we do that?
and the size. And then here's some of the options. You can change the shapes. Here it says go to position or the scale. You can change that. The shapes, you've got a few different shapes in there. I'm sure you can upload your own. Let's try shape 5.
All right. Sweet. There we go. I like that. There's enough options in there that I could stay entertained, especially with a couple of cocktails for quite a while.
Exactly.
All right.
So let's get to another app here.
All right, so what is this one?
Okay, well this is called the Tank Game. We don't have a full screen, so it's might be a little off on the tracking. But basically...
No, it seems to be pretty good. All right. So it looks like what am I controlling here? I got a little tank guy. And, oh, okay. So I'm controlling his little, what are they called, tracks or whatever?
Yeah.
So I can put, oh, there we go.
Is it you?
Yeah, I'm just spinning around there, hitting fire, changing my direction. All right, that one looks like it could be very entertaining. I'm going to be playing
Almost
with
like
this
an
on full screen.
Atari type game,
Yes, did you play that one?
Yeah,
on the
the
Atari?
tank,
Oh, my
yeah.
brother and I loved that one. This one's going to be even more fun with some beers. And I like how there's enough bezel on here that I can set one down.
Yeah,
no
new and
problem.
improved, so.
All right.
Let's check out one more app.
All right, last but not least, what are we looking at here? Big blue screen of death?
Big blue screen of death, exactly.
Blue
This is
screen
called
of
Ripples.
Goodness, yeah.
It's pretty cool colors. If you let it go, you can see the ripples going through the water, or in this case.
And these are all Flash applications that are just paying attention to the protocol that two of you say that the CCV is sending to it. So I'm sure if you were a developer, you could learn how to interface with that protocol, and next thing you know, you're running multi-touch software.
Exactly. Yeah, possibilities are limitless with this.
Sweet. Now we're going to wrap this up, but first we're going to thank our last sponsor, and we'll be right back.
The latest installment of BioWare's space epic Mass Effect franchise, Mass Effect 2, follows Commander Shepard and his crew into the far reaches of the galaxy. Teamed up with a crew of the most lethal warriors in the universe, a savage, a psychopath, a scientist, and more, Shepard tries to unlock the mystery behind the entire human colony's disappearing. Facing seemingly insurmountable odds and a team he can't entirely trust, Shepard is humanity's last hope in the fight for the lost. Mass Effect 2. Assemble your team. Fight for the lost. Available now.
Aaron, thank you so much for having us down and
no problem.
for building this table for us. I can't wait to get back to the Hak5 and start having fun with the software.
You're welcome. I'm really looking forward to having you, having everyone, all your users, and audience look at this and maybe make some applications for it. We'd love to see some more software for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a thriving community. Let me know about that first. Okay, so homebrew-wise, people want to get involved in this. How did you get involved in it? What got you started with Multitouch?
That's a good question, Darren. Actually, it first started by me seeing a video of the Microsoft Surface, and then a year later seeing it again and saying, hey, well, maybe I can do that. Maybe I can build one of those. And it first started out as kind of a fun thing. I wanted to make a beer pong multi-touch
Nice.
and something to get people over. And then as things progressed, me and Brady realized that we could maybe other people want them. Maybe we can make them. And so we got determined and just did our best we could on these.
All right, so if somebody wants to get involved in like the homebrew aspect of this, where should they go? Where do they get started?
A good place to get started would be nuigroup.org. That's nuigroup.org, and they are pretty much the starting point for any multi-touch entrepreneur.
And you are quite one of those. You and Brady are taking over at Virginia Tech. You're building them for tech. You've built them for other multi-touch companies. Now you built one for Hak5. Thank you.
Yeah, there we go.
Where can people contract you to build them for them? Find out about your kits and all that other fun stuff.
We're going to offer a couple different versions of our multi-touch, high-end series, low-end series, and you can go to our website. That's lcdmultitouch.com. Again, that's lcdmultitouch.com, and we have a lot of information on there that will help you decide what you need.
Sweet, yeah, and that's where you can find the three-mate with the.
Right.
I like that with the leet speak. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for having us down at the shop. This is so much fun. I can't wait to do. We gotta get the Virginia Tech beer pong multi-touch application going on.
Oh,
so
yeah.
If you're interested, hit us up in the forums and email feedback@hak5.org. As of course, because you guys will come back on via Skype in a couple weeks. Maybe do some follow-up?
I'd love to come back on. Me and Brady would. And we would really like to see some software developed for it.
I'm sure there's going to be quite an interest too. So of course, field those questions over to us at feedback@hak5.org. And I'm just going to go ahead and kick it back so we can wrap up this show. Thank you so much again.
No problem. Thank you, Darren. Appreciate it.
So that about wraps up this episode of Hak5, but I did want to remind you guys, you can follow all of us on Twitter at twitter.com/Hak5, and we're also on Facebook at facebook.com/Technolust.
Right, and if you follow Hak5 on Facebook or just me on Facebook, Darren, facebook.com/Darren Kitchen. That's where I'm organizing a little trip that I'm planning. I'll be out in doing a little bit of a Hak5 UK meetup. So I will be out in force picking up a.
Finally.
Yeah, I know, right? So I'm going out for my 27th birthday to celebrate in the UK, and I'm picking up a motorcycle in London, and then I'm going to do a meetup in London, Dublin, Sheffield, Manchester, and some other places. So
Wow.
hit us up on what is it?
Facebook.com/
/Darren Kitchen, and that's where all the details will be, as well as my blog, darrenkitchen.com. But yeah, I'm putting together a little Google map with places I'm staying and parties that there will be. Yes.
I'm so envious. That's going to be like fan-technolust-tastic.
It will be. Except I'm gonna have to do a complete. I'm gonna have to do a complete other trip though, just to hit Europe, because I'm looking at it and I'm like,
that's
wow,
true.
there's so many places I want to go to just in the UK and Ireland alone.
You're going to be so tired.
I don't think I'm gonna make it over to Europe, so I'm gonna have to fly into Berlin for that one and do the circle around there too.
Don't forget to bring your passport.
Yes.
Very important,
Yes.
especially nowadays.
Yes.
Super important.
Oh well. The plan is to fly with one backpack. Well, because I'm going to be on a motorcycle, so I can't bring a whole lot of.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can live out of a backpack and do a 3-camera
All right.
setup, and so that's why the ridiculous mobile rig.
3 cameras in one backpack.
3 cameras, 1 laptop, and clothing for a week in 1 backpack. Because
All right. You know, women can't do that, but good luck to you.
The cameras have gotten a lot smaller. This is
Yeah,
anyway.
that's
We'll see if it
true.
all works out. I'm having a lot of codec hell fun with it at the moment.
That's
but
okay. You'll figure it out.
Enough rambling. We're done here, and this has been your weekly dose of Technolust. Thank you for watching. We will see you guys next week, maybe with a regular episode. Maybe we'll be at ShmooCon. We can't remember. Our brains are shot at this point.
I thought you were going to say it.
All right, trust your Technolust. It's the
Duct tape
it's the
the
magic of
lamps,
television is that people don't notice like what's right behind there is falling apart.